Hands Corner, where you ask the questions, we answer them live right here on Facebook. So, had a question submitted earlier this week. Company business owner wanted to know, how do we communicate with the crews to get them to stop going to gas stations and fast food joints outside of their break time, because it's absolutely burning up their profits. And with the price of gas right now, it's eroding their bottom lines. Well, folks, this is nothing new if you've owned a service business. After 25 years owning a lawn care and snow removal business, this is something that every business owner, including myself, has dealt with. But we really need to be able to go out and conceptualize what the cost of that extra drive time is. And if you eventually move to a pay per performance or piece rate system, how you educate your crew around making good decisions and not bad decisions. And finally, even if you're not using a piece rate or pay for performance system, how do we have a conversation so the crew actually understands what they're doing for their budgeted versus actual time, and how this craziness of stopping at Wendy's halfway across the city for a Frosty on a 90-degree day is absolutely killing the crew's efficiency, their profit in their pocket if they're on pay for performance, and killing the company at the same time. The madness has got to end. Just saw 5 or 6 trucks in a Wendy's parking lot on the way to the office this morning, all eating breakfast with their feet up on the dashboard. That company was getting bled dry, and if that company had paid for performance or piece rate, those employees were doing themselves some injustice. So I'm going to pop the screen open here and really show how we broke it down in my company, Callahans Lawn Care, and explain to the crew members how they actually were hurting themselves because they were on a piece rate or pay performance system, and how we can actually talk to crew members, even if they're not on that kind of system, about the impact, and how we can educate managers and business owners what the net effect of that gas station or Wendy's stop is. So I'm going to pop the screen open and talk about this here. So what we've got here is just a blank sheet of paper. I'm going to recommend you put this on a dry erase board, a big easel in the shop. I'm going to kind of go freehand here. But what we're looking at, and this is how you should be looking at your jobs too. And if you don't have budgeted time, you really need it, because this is what's going to happen if you don't. So I have got job A right here, and I have got job B over here. And what we've got going here is I'm going to bump this up here a little bit so everybody can kind of see it. All right, so I've got job A, I've got job B. Imagine we're cutting job A, and we're gonna put fast food over here as a another option. So what we should be doing as we have job A, job B, job C all the way through the day is we should be talking to the crew leaders that when they leave job A here, the budgeted time for job B starts. Makes sense, right? On average, we need over the 25 or 30 stops a day. The average drive time should be built into the budgeted times of those jobs. We need to recover that overhead, as well as from the shop to the first job and from the last job back to the shop. So let's say on average, it's 3 to 5 minutes drive time for this crew. So we're going to say it's a 2-man crew for this service business, lawn care, home cleaning, whatever that may be. In my home or lawn care company, this is how we had it. So we're not going to have any budgeted time here, but we're going to say this is a 30-minute B hours. So 30 minutes of budgeted hours. So theoretically, this crew here, after they finish this job, that 30 minutes starts. So they're driving over to there. So I've got 30 minutes to drive there, mow, blow, and edge, and click out of my mobile device. And then I'm going to go on to job C. So this is the issue that happens when our employees make the fast food stop or the gas station stop. But imagine this, and we're going to be really conservative here. This is probably the best case scenario. We've got 5 minutes here. So from job A, they're driving 5 minutes to the fast food joint. We know the gas station, the cigarette stop, whatever they're doing here, probably going to be way more than 5 minutes. But let's put that in as another 5 minutes here and just take a look at this. So you've got your 5 minutes at the gas station. You got 5 minutes driving there. And I'm going to say in the best case scenario, you got another 5 minutes. So real simple math here. If we're driving from job A, 5 minutes to the fast food joint, there are another 5 minutes there getting the Frosty, and another 5 minutes back to job B. That is, with my math here, is 5 times 3. That's 15 minutes for one person. But once again, we've got a 2-man crew there. So we need to multiply that by 2. So what you kind of see here is happened is we have created a situation where by going 5 minutes out of the way, another 5 minutes at the gas station or fast food, another 5 minutes at job B. Technically, when we leave job A, job B's budgeted time starts. And I've got 30 minutes for job B, and I've already wasted 15 minutes times two guys. So I've eaten my 15 minutes times two. So when I get to job B, I'm already over budget. So if we're paying them pay for performance, they're getting paid for the budgeted hours. So if they do this 2 to 3 times a day, that's going to affect their pay in a negative way. Now, you, the business owner, this is pretty detrimental as well. So let's say right now with gas prices and inflation, it's costing you, let's say $38 to $40 per man hour break even before you make a profit. So let's round that around in the middle, $39 times 0.5. So what that has cost you in expenses, not projected revenue, but just in expenses, is you have lost now an additional $19.50. So if this was, say, a $40 cut, what you've done is you've added additional expense here. So we won't even play with the 40, but really what this fast food joint stop has caused you is $19.50. So let's say that these guys do this 2 or 3 times a day. You're looking at $40 to $60 of extra expense a day, and that's not uncommon that we're seeing. So let's just round it up to $20. So you've got $40 a day in additional expense times 5 days a week times, let's just say, a 30-week season. Actually, we'll do it 36, because even in the Northeast with fall cleanup, spring cleanup, that's about what you're running at. Believe it or not, if they do that 3 times a day over your 36-week season, they have incorporated an extra $7,200 of expense. So we've got to be able to take a look at that and have some accountability and transparency. We'll talk about some KPIs. Jake Roberts actually is in the masterminds group with Simple Growth. We're going to be diving into KPIs and how to make sure all of this stuff is being accounted for, and how to track it on a daily and weekly basis, and how to actually talk to your crews to do that. So this is really, really important here. And what I'm going to do is go into a test account here that I have, and I'm going to go in and pull up a account for Maps Pro. So Google Maps, it doesn't matter what software you're using here, but I'm going to go in and just pull up this test account. So the second part of this is, if they're being efficient, but you don't have standardized operating procedures, you're also hurting yourself. So a lot of the companies that we've seen, including myself in the early days, they don't have a standard way of handling how they tackle where to park, where to stop, where to do these jobs. So if you're looking at this house here in a residential situation, let's not accommodate stick edging. There is a way to do this, but I'm just going to say in a very simplistic way. If you're pulling up to this house, where are you parking? Are you parking over here where these 2 cars are at? Or are you parking over here? So before you answer that, in my opinion, you want to ask, which way is the weed whacker carrying the weed whacker? Is it off to the right, or is it off to the left? And whatever way the head of the weed whacker is on, the left or the right, that's where I'm parking. So if the guy's holding it like this and the weed whacker head's right here, I'm parking down here. And what the reason we're doing is we're streamlining and creating standardization. So this will save 4 to 6 minutes of lawn every time consistently and create better quality. But what we would do is he hops off the trailer and he's coming down here and going around the sidewalk on a 90 up the driveway, around the house and the landscape beds here, down around the sidewalk, back over here, and then right here. And when he's here, Carlos on the team who trained these guys said, don't break the snake. It's a streamlined thing. So if there's even something right next to it, you don't weed whack around it. But if there's something in the front yard, you grab it. And then we're walking around the house, going down the fence line, maybe you're grabbing a shed. If there's a tree, we grab it. And then we're walking all the way down back to this truck and trailer. Now we've streamlined the process. So ideally, this guy should be done before the guy mowing. If it's a 2-man crew, he's picking up the blower in very same fashion, blowing everything off here. If the guy's in the backyard, he's going to tackle the rest of this here, and then he's going to go around the house. But hopefully he's going up and back around the house and blowing that off all in one streamlined fashion. And if we go in and use that same system of going up and down and around the house, blowing off the mulch, coming back in here, and then going out and around blown off any swing sets or anything. He's back at the trailer or truck with trailer and lifts the gate for the guy there. But the positive thing is now everything's blown off in a systematic fashion. Now, the mower, in my opinion, should be mowing the side yard up to the back of the house, the whole front and the side, um, before he goes into the back. So everything's done. He's facing it obviously away from the beds in the house. And then most mowers are going to be discharging from the right. So he's going to go starting here and coming back. Now, obviously, we need to change the directions. But as he's done now, he's coming back out and landing right at the truck and trailer. So we want to create a standardized system of procedure. And then the guy in the mower is probably running the crew can see way before the guy misses something where he's going to miss it because he's doing it the same way. Now, if this is a bigger house, and the guy weed whacking's done and is going to jump on another 60, he knows where the guy's always starting and stopping, so he can start in an area and work systematically towards him. But creating a standardized procedure like this to where to park based on the way the guy's weed whacking, and basically a systemized, streamlined way around the house for weed whacking and blowing, and where they're going to be mowing first and mowing last, can save big time and money and create a better quality product. So we tackled drive time, how to talk about it, how to alleviate those gas station or frosty stops at Wendy's, and where we park in the truck for systemized predictability. And that's going to improve the quality and the ability for the guy managing that crew to double check that standard process. So questions or comments, drop them below. Callahans Corner. You ask the questions, we answer them live right here on Facebook.